Hello everyone, back again with another guide. Today I'm going to be going over Sylvanus. Sylvanus is a very powerful guardian right now. He's probably the best guardian right now, along with Athena. Those two are the best in the support role right now. Sylvanus has very good wave clear. You're basically just win lane with Sylvanus just because of his wave clear. I mean, AoE basic attacks are just pretty OP. Also, he has pretty good sustain. He's not going to be as good late game as maybe an Athena or especially Geb. But right now games are so early game focused that Sylvanus is very powerful. Sylvanus is very good early. He can help sustain his team, and well, he doesn't have many weaknesses. The one weakness I would say of Sylvanus, and for anyone that has played Sylvanus quite often, knows that he is very slow. He doesn't have any mobility, and he could be picked off by slows very easily. So with that, we're going to go into the build first. Starters, I like to get Watcher's Gift. Watcher's Gift is going to help you with your money. Going to give you some more gold. Going to get a lot of things. Going to get extra health. Most importantly, also gives you some mana regeneration, which is pretty helpful. Then it's also going to give you some sustain too, which is also good. Watcher's Gift, it's a very good all-around item to start with for supports. But another option, you could go Mark of the Vanguard. I don't think it's that great right now. I'm getting way too many messages right now. I gotta put my phone somewhere else. I'm getting Mark of the Vanguard. It's still a very good item. It's not as good as Watcher's Gift, but still has its uses. Primarily against someone with a bunch of basically, it's mostly good against Ares, because if he hits you with the chain, it's just not gonna do a whole lot of to you. But Mark of the Vanguard is still an option if you're planning on being like super aggressive and probably taking a lot of hits from minions early. Mark of the Vanguard will help keep you alive, definitely, and prevent a lot of that damage. But for the most part, you will probably be wanting to go Watcher's Gift, because it's just an all-around better item, I think. Then we're going to start with Tier 1 of Hog. You're playing support, you have to have Hog, there is no question about that. And then I like to go 4 health potions and 4 multi potions. Mainly because Watcher's Gift is going to help you get your mana back. Sylvanus has his flower, which you can put down to also help get mana back. And you do have a sustain, you do have a heal on your kit. But you're probably just going to be taking a lot of damage kind of early, just because you're a support. You should be taking the damage for your hunter if you can. So this is going to help you sustain yourself very well early. And with that, we're going to go into the core build. We're going to start off getting Traveler Boots or Teleria, whichever one the magic one is. I don't play a whole lot of support, so I don't usually build these items, but yeah, these items these boots are very good for supports right now, mainly because of the extra gold you get. Now you kind of have to work for that gold, because you're gonna have to go and attack enemy gods to get the extra bonus gold. But this also kind of fixes one problem with Sylvanus too, because he gets that so what's the movement speed? Oh, he's not in combat. He gets an additional 14% movement speed. Like I said before, he's really slow. That's also gonna help him out a lot. He's also gonna get a nice health regeneration while he's out of combat. So while he's traveling through the jungle to go to places, he's going to get that nice boost to speed and health regeneration that he's going to need. Plus that extra gold. Very helpful. The magic power is not bad. You could obviously still go with the cooldown boots if you want to, but I just think these are by far the best boots to get on supports. Next we're going to go to Sovereignty. Because Sovereignty is very good. It's built on every support. If you don't build Sovereignty on a support, then you're just not doing it right, unless for very specific situations if they have like some kind of crazy team comp. Yeah, it's going to give you physical protection, which you really need, and which is why you built it before you build Heartward, because physical protection is much better than magical protection. It's also going to give your team the passive magical protection, some extra regeneration. Very good. And we go to its counterpart, Heartward Amulet. which is going to give you the magical protection, and it's going to give your teammates the physical protection. Which the passive on it also works for you too, of course. Yeah, these two are very standard items. Should be built on every support along with Magi's Blessing, which I'll get to that here in 1 second. And next, since Sylvanus has a heal, he works very well with Lotus Crown, because once you heal yourself and your teammates, you're going to get even more defense, which is kind of like basically having a free Shield of Absorption, the active, without actually having to buy the active. It's going to use more physical protection, going to use some more damage. So it's not going to complain about the damage, because his ultimate, he's not a very high damaging Guardian, but his ultimate does do a decent little bit of damage. Especially with that that dot. It lasts for a decent bit. Especially early. And, well, Lotus Crown, maybe you can get it. It's for the passive, the heal. It's very good. And since Sylvanus has a lot of problems with being immobile, Magi's Blessing is also very good with them. It's very good for objective clear. This is another item that you really need to buy for supports because of the objective steal potential. It's kind of hard to steal objectives if you don't have Magi's Blessing, because once you run in there to try to steal it, they're just going to stun you, and you're probably just going to die and look stupid for it. Now, you can get Magi's Blessing before Lotus Crown. Either way is fine, just depending on how CC heavy their team is. Doesn't really matter. Either way is fine, I believe. Yeah. Just personal preference. Then after that, for your last item slot, it's kind of depending on what your team needs more of and what you need more. Void Stone's very good. It's going to use some extra protection, some extra magical protection. It's going to use some extra damage, and it's going to put a magical protection debuff on the enemy. So your mages will also be doing more damage to enemies thanks to that. So it's pretty helpful if you got a decent couple magical damage dealing gods on your team that are kind of carrying the game. This will help them out even more. The enemy team has a lot of healing. Pestilence will be good to slow down the healing some. This next few items are going to be very heavy anti-hunter focused, like hide the enemy line. If they have at least 2 hunters on the team, I'd probably suggest hide the enemy line. It's going to be very good for stopping their lifesteal. That's kind of how I like to look at it, because they're going to be taking a lot of the damage back to themselves, which kind of negates the life they're also gaining back from their lifesteal, which is very helpful. But yeah, they're not going to want to attack you too much as long as you got that up. You're healing yourself, giving yourself extra protection. They're going to take a lot of damage back. Also, the Guardian Mail is very good for teams that are very heavily focused with auto attacks. It's going to slow them down. It's going to slow their attack speed down. At least it has a chance to. It's very good. You could use it for like a team with like 2 hunters and maybe a Kali or a Mercury. Be good for that. But you could also still just do hide the enemy line. Either one of these two choices are very good, and I approve of both of them. Leads us to Witchblade next. I don't like Witchblade as much as these other 2 options. Still an option though. The attack speed stat on this item is kind of interesting for Sylvanus, but by this point in the game, it's not really going to make that much of a difference. And the attack speed debuff is nice in certain situations. I just don't like it as much as Guardian Mail or hide the enemy line. Still an option though. And then lastly, a very important and very good one that I would probably suggest most of the time, unless it's different specific situations like very heavy auto attack focused, or they have a couple hunters. I get Wingblade. This is going to kind of solve his issue with being slow. Mainly, I mean, if the enemy team has Nemesis on their team and you don't have a Wingblade, then you're kind of in for a bad time. Now, if they do have a bunch of slows on their team, I would probably build this kind of early, maybe after Heartward, because you'll be very vulnerable. But I know it's tough. It's tough to find a good spot for Wingblade in the core build for supports, just because those items for supports are just so important. But like it all comes down to, just depends when you need it and if you need it. So just build Wing Blade whenever you feel like you just need that extra movement speed and that slow resistance. That's going to do it for the build for the most part. And then we're going to look at actives. Of course, you need Hog 3. You're a support. You don't have a choice there. Next, I prefer to get Blink for Sylvanus just because you can blink in ulti. Plus, he doesn't have a good way to get into steal objectives. This is going to be his only way in. He has a very good ulti for stealing objectives too. And I think these two are by far the best choices you can get. You could also do Weakening Curse if they have just a whole lot of healing on the team. Or you could do Shell Absorption, but I don't really think you need it since you have Lotus Crown that basically kind of works the same way. It's not as good. But Lotus Crown is not as good as Shell Absorption as far as protections go, but frees up an active slot, and actives are very important. Then we're just going to take a quick look at his abilities, even though I just repressed it. His passive is Nature's Protection. There's a 25% chance that when an enemy basic attacks you, that they will be rooted for 1 second. But it can only happen once every 12 seconds. It's actually pretty handy. This ability won't be used a whole lot offensively, and be more so used defensively for the most part. But it can actually help you get away pretty good bit of time. Or at least enough time for your teammates to get quite a few hits in on them and to make them disengage from you. First off, I got Verdant Growth. This will be the ability that you will want to get first. Good strategy with this is get Verdant Growth, go straight to the tier 1 of your mid lane's tower and throw down a flower behind it, because then they will get the mana regeneration if they go stand inside of it. Very good for that. Other than that, if you hit an enemy god with it, it's going to root them. It's going to do a little bit of damage. The main thing is going to be with the root. Very powerful for that. And, well, that's one thing you're going to see that Sylvanus has a pretty good bit of, and that's CC. Although, one of these CC abilities are hard to get, and I'll get to in 1 second, because next we got Wisps, and this is the ability you'll level up first. After you take Verdant Growth at level 1, you'll level this up whenever you get a chance to. This is your healing skill. This is going to be your main damage skill. And, well, this is going to be your ability to also give you some protection. Along with Lotus Crown, there's going to be a bunch. You're going to give people a bunch of protection. You're going to give them a pretty good bit of healing. It's all around a very powerful ability. This is one of the other reasons what makes Sylvanus really good early, especially because you're going to outpush them, you're going to out-sustain them in lane. And it's just going to be a fun time for your dueling. Next we go to Nature's Grasp. This is, I like to call it the old Arachne ulti. It's just a pull. It's pretty hard to hit though. You can help set it up with Verdant Growth to get comfortable with it. In all honesty though, the better combo would be to Nature's Grasp someone to you. So just pull them in, then hit them with your 1 to root them, because then they'll be really out of position. But it's not a bad idea to root them and then pull them, because how hard the ability is to hit. It's not an easy ability. Anyone that's played Sylvanus a lot will tell you that it's not easy. As far as what to level up second after Wisps, either one of these two is fine. Just depends on personal preference. I prefer to level up Verdant Growth, but the cooldown reduction for Nature's Grasp once you level up is nice, because that 30-second cooldown sucks. But yes, either one of these two, completely fine. Just depending on what you want. I prefer Verdant Growth. Neither one of them is wrong though. Then we got Wrath of Terra. You want to get this whenever you can. This ability has a very large AoE around you that will knock up enemies and put a dot on them. The dot lasts for 5 seconds. It does damage every 1 second, so it'll proc 5 times. Just a decent bit of damage. It's a very good ability. Like I said before, this is a very powerful ability for stealing objectives. You blink in, you're going to knock them up, you're going to hog it before they even had a chance to do anything. It's very powerful. And it's a very good teamfight ulti. And with that, that's going to about do it for Sylvanus. Sylvanus is very good right now. Him and Athena are the two best supports right now. At least in my opinion, they are. Gab's still kind of in and out of there. And if you play support, give Sylvanus a go and get a lot of practice with them, because if you're going to be a good support, then you need to have a good Sylvanus. And that's going to about do it. Let me know down in the comments section if there's a specific guide you want to see me do next. Hope you have a great day and have fun.